Hello, welcome back to the pod, the Pit of Doom, and video number 4 on Trewithen. I've done a few bits and pieces this week, as you would probably hope, and also a short running session. So I've done a few trains in and out, and I'm going to get on now, show you what I've been up to, and catch you later in the video. I hope you enjoy it, and it's only a short video, but yeah, I've got a few bits done, so I'll catch you later in the video. Thanks. Okay, at the moment I've put the 4 lighting wires on droppers here, and they'll go onto the front panel, but we actually have lights now working on the layout. So we've got station lamps, and then moving on down the pub. Oops, sorry about that. Right, the pub will have a nice red glow in it. Cottage at the end will have a light there, and the other little cottage will have a light there. So we've got the different switches doing the different buildings, so we can turn everything on and off, and the street lamps and the station are all wired in together on one. So there we go, another little job done. My favourite saying, I think. And the first of the signals is wired in now, and that goes down nice and comes up with a nice bit of bounce. So I've got to read the instructions about the settings on it, but it looks good to me so far. So there we go. Now the other signal wired up. They don't bounce, but I can live with that on this one. So wonderful. That's all the lights done, all the signals done, and no more turning over of baseboards. Yippee! So a couple more little jobs I've done. I've now laid the sidings here in this corner. Like I said before, they're not wired. I really can't see the point of wiring them. I can just run the stuff in and out as I need to with my finger, so that'll be fine. But it just takes the china clay rake at the back there. There is another siding over the very back, and I've got a china clay rake there. I've dug out all the rest of my stock now, so everything I've got is on the layout. So loco wise, we've got the warship and the high mech there. We've got the prairie tank down in there. We've got 2 pannier tanks, 64XX and the 8750 back there, and the class 22. And I don't really need any more, that's it. Passenger stock wise, I've got the 3 coaches there. I will be adding a B set to that as well, and again that's probably all I'm going to need for that at the moment. I really can't see much more stock being required for the sort of service that I'll be running on here. So that's where we are with this at the moment, and that just moves around and lines up as it should do there with all the tracks. So I can line everything up. I have to line it up by eye, but yeah, it works okay. I've had no problems with it so far. So there we go. So right, let's get back on. Let's run some trains now. So there we go, all the rest of the wiring is done now. So So we've got all the point motors down here as well now. They're all wired in and they're all working. So we can just flick that and oh, get my fingers right. There we go. And the same with all of them. We've got the double one up there. Which, oh, so I'm trying to work points. There we go. Right. One other thing that I have done is originally this point here, that one and that one were working as a 3 together. You may remember I mentioned that, I think it was in the last video. But what I've done now, I've taken this one out and doing this one separately. And the reason is when the train comes in off the China Clay branch, uncouples and backs up to clear the crossover at the station so the train can run around, it was fouling this point here, which meant when the 3 were changed together for the runaround, that point couldn't be operated. So I now had to do that one as a separate point. So that's something that will be on the control panel as a separate one. But everything else is working nicely now. I've made up a temporary panel just to hold the switches in place at the moment. Eventually there'll be the track plan will be on a white panel on the front, same as I did with Butte Road. But I want to make sure everything's right this time, as suggested by my mate George, before I go as far as drawing out a track plan on a panel. But that will just hold all the wires in place and the switches in place on a temporary basis. I will just write on them in a moment so I know which switch does what, but that's all the points, the station lights and village lights, and the 2 signals. So that'll do for now. Just a temporary bodge until I do a proper panel. D835 Pegasus arrived at the station and will be the departure back to Exodus and David's later on. Beauty of KD couplings when they work. And a shot of dusk at Trewithen, ready for the last train to depart. And it also shows the signals up better, obviously in the nighttime shots. Comments have been made about the platform lamps being a bit bright, and they're only 3 volts, but yes, they are a little bit bright. And the street lamps, of course, they're showing up quite bright because they're all from the same source. So the bosun's house there is all lit up, and Harbour View house and the pub has got a nice little red glow in there, makes it really warm and welcoming. And then the view down the old High Street, looking down towards the station. So just an overall view there of the station at dusk, ready for the last train of the day to depart. And so he's got the signal now, so we can depart back to Exeter St David's. Nice bit of bounce on the signal, and the signalman can now shut his box up and go off home. Well, there we go. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. We'll be back next week for some more. In the meantime, happy modelling, stay safe, and thanks again for watching Trewithen. And yes, this one does need the CV sorting out for a smoother running, so there we go. Never mind. Catch you all next week. Thanks again. Cheers. Bye for now. Bye.